Hey guys, it's Jay. So I'm here with a new video. So Alex had did a video on his channel yesterday talking about his musical journey, talking about just music that he grew up listening to, which led him to listening to K-pop. So I figured I'd do the same. So I'm gonna hopefully not make this shit too long, but we'll see. But yeah, so basically we just start from when I was growing up as a kid. As a kid growing up in New Jersey, I was fortunate to have parents that didn't censor me and my brothers from listening to certain things, so I could listen to pretty much whoever the hell I wanted. They didn't care. So like my dad was more like old school mixed with new school, so he listened to like Teddy Pendergrass, Barry White, the Parliament Funkadelic, the Ohio Players, Cameo. But he also listened to like Anita Baker, Sade, Babyface, stuff like that. My mom, on the other hand, she was more recent, so she listened to more like top 40 stuff. So like Madonna, Michael Jackson, Janet Jackson, Prince, Duran Duran, Bon Jovi, Guns N' Roses, Mariah Carey, Nirvana, Pearl Jam, because that was when the grunge era had happened. It came out. But she also listened to like rock and metal, so she loved Journey. That's one of like her favorite groups. She listened to Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, Fleetwood Mac, AC/DC, Led Zeppelin, Judas Priest, all that type of stuff. But for me as a kid, I was the same. I listened to pretty much everything. I listened to country, I listened to hip-hop, R&B, pop, metal, grunge, whatever the fuck I liked, I listened to it. So the two people that I loved, I still love to this day, that's like my two people that I like, they're like top tier for me, is Madonna and Janet Jackson. Now I know you probably say a lot about Madonna these days, but I still love Madonna. Like that's like up there. You know what I'm saying? Just as a kid, as an MTV kid, growing up watching all her videos and stuff like that. Janet Jackson the same. Her Rhythm Nation album is like my favorite album from hers. There's no comparison. I don't care what you say. I mean, you can kind of argue with the Janet album and the Velvet Rope album and shit, but for me, the Rhythm Nation album was just top tier in my opinion, even though those two other albums were like really great albums. But yeah, Janet Jackson is always, I absolutely love Janet Jackson. But I also love Michael Jackson and Whitney Houston, Mariah Carey, Celine Dion, Toni Braxton, Faith Evans, Mary J. Blige. So I was really into like the female vocalists during the 90s. Annie Lennox, stuff like that. But I loved hip hop too, so like Jay-Z, Biggie, Nas, Mobb Deep, Wu-Tang Clan, the Fugees, Naughty by Nature, Queen Latifah, Lil' Kim, Foxy Brown, just anyone from the East Coast I was pretty much listening to. Same from the West Coast, you know what I'm saying? I listened to Pac and Dre and Snoop and NWA and all of them I listened to like growing up. I was really also into girl groups, so like TLC. When I was growing, like when I was a kid, it was TLC because my mom loved TLC. So TLC, 702, Total, Destiny's Child, let me see, the Spice Girls. Oh my god, I love the Spice Girls. They were like my favorite girl. Like them TLC and Destiny's Child were like neck and neck. They were like, those are like my three favorite girl groups ever growing up. But it was kind of hard to pick one, but those are like my top three favorite girl groups probably pretty much ever. So like the first album that I received was a vinyl of a record by a rapper named Cameron. If you listen to Dipset, that's more if you like were my age and you probably know who Dipset is. So yeah, he actually came out in the 90s. He had a song called Horse and Carriage, which was like a huge record at the time. This was like 97. I say like 97. I'm gonna go 97. It was a huge record, and my parents got me the vinyl, and I had a record player in my room, so I listened to the record all the time. But the first album I purchased was Britney Spears' "Baby One More Time." It's the first CD I ever bought. Britney Spears was my fucking queen when I was a kid. Like, you couldn't tell me shit. Like, Britney Spears was that bitch when I was a kid. Like, I was obsessed with Britney Spears. I even saw Crossroads. That's how you know how much I love Britney Spears. And actually, Crossroads isn't as bad as the movie people say it is. It's actually not that. It's not that great of a movie, but it's not as bad. It's like Glitter. People thought Glitter was like the worst movie ever. I'm like, it's really not that bad. But that's just my fucking opinion. But yeah, like, Britney was just everything. So I remember I bought it. I was so fucking happy that I bought it. And I used to play that shit all the time. So this is like late 90s. Early 2000s, so it's like this is more like the TRL era. So like Britney Spears, Backstreet Boys, NSYNC, Christina Aguilera, all of them, but also hip hop. Still Jay-Z was still big at that time. Ja Rule, DMX. I was a huge DMX fan. Trying to think. Oh, also, like, nu metal came out around that time. So what nu metal is, like, metal mixed with hip-hop. So, like, Linkin Park, if you want to say. Yeah, Linkin Park. Limp Bizkit and Korn. Those were, like, the three, like, nu metal groups I was really fucking with when I was around that time. So, like I said, early 2000s, same shit, top 40. It's funny because at that time, people was going platinum in a week. Like, you didn't have to be like a really huge artist. You can be brand new, and if you had that one big record, you can literally go platinum in a week. The same thing. So prime example, like 50 Cent, right? 50 Cent's first album, Get Rich or Die Trying, his huge hit record was In the Club, and that's always played everywhere, like everywhere. And he went platinum in a week. Nowadays, you have to be Beyonce, Drake, Taylor Swift, Adele, or Kendrick Lamar to go platinum in like a week. But it wasn't that hard to go platinum back then. It really wasn't. Like, I mean, it was easier to go like gold and shit. Like, you didn't, like, even like certain people who weren't like top tier status, you can at least go gold. You know what I'm saying? Like, that you can do. Nowadays, it's kind of hard to even go gold these days. So, but yeah, man. But yeah, I was just like thinking about that. So yeah, I was really into TRL. So like anything in TRL, I was fucking with. Then I also was getting into Warm System Park. So that was like 2001. So I ran into this. Me and my brother ran into this group. It was 4 dudes. Didn't know who the fuck they were. I was like, who the fuck are these people? So I remember the next day, I'm in social studies class, and my teacher used to play music in the class, and the song, I recognized the song, and I was like, who is that? He was like, oh, it's B2K. And I'm like, who the fuck is B2K? I'm like, who the fuck is that? So I remember I turned to Warren System Park again, and there they were. I said, oh, okay. And then after that, it was a fucking rap. I was obsessed with B2K after that. It was so bad. But yeah, so that was like that first, like, besides the Backstreet Boys, like the first boy group that I was like, the other boy group I was like really, really into at that time. So kind of fast forward through middle school. So now we're in high school. So in high school, same, so I listened to kind of like the same stuff. Oh, I also used to listen to country. So I used to listen to a little bit of country. My favorite country singer is Shania Twain. I fucking love Shania Twain. But I love Shania Twain. I used to listen to her. I was more so into the female country singers, not really the males too tough. So like Reba McEntire, Faith Hill, Shania Twain, them. Then like later on you really, you know, like Carrie Underwood and stuff like that. But yeah. So I'm in high school. So I'd say this is about 2004 to, no, I was in middle school 2004. So like 2004 to like 2005, I'd say. So like 2004 is when Beyonce's first album came out. Beyonce was everywhere at that time. And then I got into high school. This is when Chris Brown came out. So Chris Brown came out in 2005. Was it 5 or 4? 2005. So this is when like his first like Run It came out. I was obsessed with Chris Brown after that. So that like carried me through high school. So I guess we go to senior year. So senior year, 2007. So I was graduating high school and I turned 18. So that's kind of like a special time for me. I just remember one of my friends had got a car for graduation, and whatchamacallit, so we would listen to Rihanna's Good Girl Gone Bad album because Umbrella was a huge record at that time, and Rihanna was already like known, but this like blew her the fuck up that year. She was like the it girl. Like everyone was talking about Rihanna back in 2007. She changed her look and all this other shit. Let's see. So yeah, that was like 2007. Let's see, other girl groups. Yeah, so like there wasn't like too many girl groups around that time. So like you had Danny Kane and the Pussycat Dolls. I loved the Pussycat Dolls and I loved Danny Kane. Boy groups. I don't think there's really any boy groups I was really fucking with like when I was graduating high school. I can't remember. But I was kinda like I said, listen to kinda like the same type of shit after graduating high school again. Same, top 40, like I said. So like 2008 or whatever, that's when I got introduced to Katy Perry and Lady Gaga. I love Lady Gaga. Like that's like another one that's like top 5 for me. So stuff like that. So like I said, around that time, all that stuff that was like, again, like I said, top 40 type shit I was listening to, hip hop, R&B, all that type of shit. So like I have a lot of non-K-pop albums. So pretty much what I would do was when I was in middle school and high school, I would save up. I would kind of like skip days to not eat lunch because I had to pay for lunch. So that's the only way I got money was for lunch. So I would not eat lunch at school certain days so I could save up money, because how it used to go, the new albums would come out on a Tuesday. The new movies would come out in theaters on a Friday just in time for the weekend. So I knew, okay, I had a week to save up for the album. So wouldn't eat lunch that whole week. Just wait till I got home. So Tuesday comes, my mom gets home from work, like 4:30, 5 o'clock. I'd be like, Ma, we're going to Target. And she'd be like, yeah. I'm like, yes, we're going to Target. I have to drag her ass. I have to make her take me to Target and buy the albums. Like back then, albums was like $10 to $12 for like regular versions, but deluxe versions was like $15. But yeah, man, that's how I used to buy my CDs back in the day, was just pretty much get a school lunch. Cause I didn't have a job. I had like a summer job, but minimum wage in Jersey back then was like $5.50, so I was barely getting shit back then. But health minimum wage is barely anything now. But anywho, so I'm out of high school. So this is where I'm like in my 20s. I'm still listening to the same shit. So it's like the same thing was like, when I was in my early 20s. So now we go to 2012. So 2012 was when I got introduced to K-pop. So if everyone knows my story, quick story time how I got into K-pop. I was into One Direction. I was like really, really, really into One Direction. Don't judge me, but I was like a huge Direction, alright? Mind you, I'm like 23 at the time. Whatever. So I was really into One Direction, and I remember the Fine Brothers did the whole team at the One Direction. This is when they came out with your What Makes You Beautiful. So I'm watching the video. I thought it was interesting, so I go into the channel and I'm just going through the videos, and I landed on a video that says Kids React to K-pop. Now I'm not dumbass. I figured K-pop, okay, Korean pop. Again, it's not that fucking hard, but I was like, okay, whatever. So I watched the video. I thought the kids were harsh, but at the same time, if you don't know anything about children, children are very blunt. They have no children and older people, like elderly people, they have no fucking filter. Like they really don't. So like they will say the most reckless shit, and there's really nothing you can do about it because like they're kids. But I remember people was like so pissed with that video. I didn't think it was. I mean, I can understand why people got upset about it, but I mean, for me, I was like, yeah, y'all it's a little harsh. You know what I'm saying? Having kids say, oh, that's the. I remember it was like they showed, because if you've never seen the video, they showed Super Junior's Banamana, 21's I'm the Best, no, Girls' Generation's G, and 21's I'm the Best. And I don't know, I forgot what they said about Super Junior, but I know they said some shit that like Girls' Generation, they look alike, blah blah blah, they robots, blah blah blah. They said 21 looked like the Korean Lady Gaga. I'm sitting here like, not everyone that did weird shit back in 2010 and 2012 and shit were trying to be Gaga. Just saying. But whatever. Like, they said anyone that did anything fucking remotely like weird and shit, they just all said, oh, you be like Gaga. Whatever. But anyhow. So I just thought the kids were a little harsh. They were a little harsh. But I'm like, it's whatever. So I thought it was interesting. So I remember just going on to YouTube, I just typed in K-pop, and I think how I was introduced to certain songs was watching compilation videos. So like pretty much how the videos I do now with like the countdown videos, so like the favorite songs of 2000 whatever, that's how I got introduced to a lot of the songs. So it was like I can't find the video. They probably got deleted, but it was top such and such song of 2011. So they had TVXQ's Keep Your Head Down, FX's Pinocchio, Big Bang's Tonight, Beast Fiction, IU's Good Day, Girls' Generation's The Boys, oh god, Tiara's Roly Poly, 2 PM's Hands Up, I think something from 4 Minute, I think. So those are the ones I can remember off the top of my head. And again, I was just like watching random ass videos. I remember I was typing in like, okay, it's such and such, so I would write it down, and I was just on YouTube for hours just like watching shit. I'm like, okay, I like this one, don't like this one, blah blah blah. So like I remember watching shit from like Big Bang and 4 Minute and 21, but it was kind of like watch it one time and keep it going. But the one song that like grabbed my attention was 21's I'm the Best. And like to this day, I don't give a fuck who it is, 21's I'm the Best is still that shit. That's still that bitch. Like I don't care what anyone says. Like just that song, that video, I was sitting here like, what the fuck am I watching? Like I don't know a lick of Korean. I don't know what the fuck they saying. But I just really liked it. And I remember I told my mom, and she was like, okay. Like, she was like, all right. I was like, I don't know what they're saying, but it's good. And then I remember I was just downloading a whole bunch of music from, like, like I said, the groups that I was really into back in was, like, 21, FX, Girls' Generation, Tiara, and Super Junior. And then that's when I started kind of, like, getting into K-pop. Like, I was still listening to, like, the music that was out that time. So like who came out that time? I think like Rihanna's Unapologetic album was out at that time. I think Justin Bieber's Believe was out at that time. So like people who still had albums that came out in 2012 I was still listening to. But I saw myself from 2013 on not listening to so much American music. Like I think I kind of like took a back seat. I'd say 2015. Because at first I'm just sitting here like, what the fuck? So I think I saw myself listening to K-pop way more as like the years have gone by. But yeah, I mean, everyone knows I listen to, who I listen to, BAP, Big Bang, BlockB, Highlight, 2 PM, 4 Minute, Miss A, all that other shit. And people I listen to now and stuff like that. So that kind of led me to what I listen to, how I got into K-pop. So yeah, I hope that I think that's pretty much it. You know, and here I am now, years later, with the whole YouTube channel pretty much dedicated to K-pop and stuff. So yeah, never would I ever thought that, one, I'd have a YouTube channel, and two, that I would be like making videos and shit and like listening to K-pop. But I mean, yeah, K-pop has just grabbed a hold of a bitch and just has not let go, and I don't plan on letting go anytime soon. I mean, I still love K-pop, so even though I'm damn near 30, but still I love K-pop. So, but yeah, like, that's just, you know, my journey and listening to from my music to where I listened to growing up to leading me to now that I'm listening to K-pop. But I mean, I still find myself listening to like certain artists that's out now. Like, I love Ariana Grande, I like Nicki Minaj, I love Cardi B, I love SZA, and let's see, I love Kendrick Lamar, Drake. So like certain people I listen to now, but not as much as I used to. Like, back then I used to listen to a lot of stuff that was out in the top 40, but now it's just like, who? I really have to ask, because I really don't know. I really don't know half the time, but yeah, so. But yeah, man, I just wanted to come on here and just tell you my musical story and stuff like that. So yeah, I mean, tell me, you know, what were you listening to before you got into K-pop? Did you listen, were you well-rounded, or did you listen to only certain things or certain artists? Let me know. And yeah, I'm gonna put a link to Alex's video in the comments, so please go check it out. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So I'm gonna get out of here, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.